camera. Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah.
It's nice to kiss those sunscreen covered lips.
Yes. If I look kind of white, Karen's got heavy zinc sunscreen on.
It's
protect
screaming.
myself. Yeah,
it is
yes.
screaming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're headed out to ski. It's the final day of the ski season here at Copper Mountain, and it's beautiful. It's 50 degrees.
Yeah.
It's sunny.
Bluebird day, so we have to get out there, but we want to do a quick video on relationships. I think you said this is kind of a follow-up to the last one we did, right?
Exactly. So we're going to do a series. So we're going to do a couple of these. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and then we'll build each one of our series based on the information that you are commenting on down below. So this one is based on a comment that we had from somebody when we were talking about, some of the things that are really key to making a relationship last. Real quick history, Jeffrey and I are married 30 years. And it's not that we're just married 30 years. It's that every day for us is better than the last day, and every year is better. We can't even believe it because, when you first meet, and we got married pretty quickly, so we were still on the honeymoon, when we were on our actual honeymoon, but I believe that we're still on the honeymoon.
Yeah, well, I can tell you read your love note this morning.
I did read my love note.
It's getting better every day.
Yeah.
I think I wrote something about that in the love book, that another one of our keys to success. So you wanted to dive in specifically on a comment around finding commonalities so you can spend time together.
Right.
Because I think too many people have different things,
Right.
Someone may like to golf and they're off golfing on Saturday and Sunday all day, and someone else might like, whatever, nature hikes.
Right.
And those two people are going off in different directions.
Exactly. And listen, we are not saying if you have different interests to drop your interests. If one of you loves golf and the other one doesn't, that's great. Designate some time to golf. But, if your relationship is the most important thing, you can't designate your entire weekend to golfing if that means not being with your partner.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, could just be a weekend. You're saying every weekend or every minute of spare time.
Exactly.
You can't be off golfing if your partner doesn't like to golf.
Or playing tennis or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
If you're a runner, you can't go out and run 30 miles, every single day. That on the weekends, especially, unless there's a way to involve your partner. So quick update on Jeffrey and I. I've always loved skiing, and Jeffrey's always loved skiing, and Jeffrey's always been a much better skier than I am. But it's something that I really enjoyed. However, his, I don't want to say passion for skiing, because I believe that we always both had a great passion for it.
I think so. Yeah.
But his level of expertise drove me to want to get better. But the coolest part about it is that, when we initially were dating and skiing together, he didn't go off and have to ski the double blacks without me. He didn't feel that was necessary. Does he like to ski, the blacks and the double blacks? I do too now, but then definitely was not, really in, the level I was at. And the fact that he chose to ski with me at my level made me want to ski closer to his level and get better and practice and take more chances. So it's really important to find that commonality of something that you can both enjoy. It might be it doesn't have to be a sport. It doesn't have to be skiing or golf or tennis. It could be traveling. We both love to travel.
Right.
And that's something we talk about a lot, like where we want to go. And even, if you traveling is something you both really love, and even if at this point in time where travel's a little restricted, or if you're not able to travel as much as you want, the planning that goes into it, and watching documentaries or watching videos or YouTube shows on, if it's Portugal you're interested in, or Italy, or a bunch of places, right? Watching those together and learning about them together. Here's another thing that Jeffrey and I, it's new for us. And that's the other thing. As you're together more, try to pick up some new things that each of you can find, a common interest in. And again, you don't have to love everything each other does, but Reiki. Jeffrey and I are both really interested and intrigued by Reiki, and it's something that we've both been interested in, but now we're taking it to the next level. We're actually listening to courses on how to become a Reiki master, and we're taking attunement courses together. This is something that we do together. And here's another great example is, I went 100% plant-based many years before Jeffrey. And so this is where I want to talk about...
I have kiwi fur in my throat. Right. We just learned that now. I always peeled the kiwis. Now we're eating them skin and all, but that little bit of fur
on the outside.
I feel like it gets tickled my throat. So sorry about that.
No, and that's exactly what I was going to be talking about. Is this this intrigue in nutrition? So I went 100% plant-based. Years before Jeffrey. I want to say maybe 7 years before he did. And I never ever pushed it on him or our family. I always introduced it, and I love to cook, so I would, if they wanted something that wasn't vegan, I would make that for them, and then I would make my own meal. And then it got to a point where I just decided that I wanted to only cook vegan in the house, and that when we went out, and those were in the days when, we went out to dinner a lot more often than we do now. And I probably speak for all of us right now.
Right.
So, there were plenty of times to go out and get something that wasn't vegan. Well, subsequently, and again, never because I pushed it, but I think Jeffrey found such an interest in what was going on with me and my energy level. And the biggest thing that I noticed, and I don't want to make this about being vegan at all, but just one thing that I noticed right away is when I wake up in the morning, I used to have this buzzing feeling throughout my entire body. And I had it my entire life until I went 100% plant-based. And it went away. It's the weirdest thing. It's like I'd get out of bed and I was just buzzing with exhaustion. And it went away. And when I initially started this, video for another day, I had no idea it was going to be a lifelong thing for me, but it has become a lifelong thing for me on many levels.
But on this video, we're doing it together is what you're talking about,
but,
right? Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that he joined me where he was at that time. And it's really important as a couple to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't saying you need to only eat these foods. I mean, for many years, we cooked everything, and things that I didn't eat and that I would not eat. And when I decided that the house was vegan and we went out to eat, I never said, oh, you shouldn't eat that or you should eat this.
Right.
Never, ever.
Right.
We met where it was comfortable for us. And I think that's another thing because...
Well, it's just like the skiing.
Exactly.
It's the same kind of thing.
Yes,
so
you met me where I was comfortable.
Well, we both spend time together doing things together, and you start to align. The old saying, like, birds of a feather flock together, right? I mean, I think, you've heard people talk about once you hang around with somebody a long time, you start to certainly look more like them. It's because you have some of the same mannerisms, you have some of the same accents, some of the same words. You might laugh the same way, or you might use hand motions the same way. I know, I got you. And so, people have said this to Karen and I before. Oh, you guys almost look like brother and sister. We think that's funny, but I think I know what it is. It's because we do have some of the same expressions. We say things in the same way. We spend a lot of time together. So it's just like anything else. Your interests start to come together, like around this Reiki healing and training that we're going through. It's another journey that we're going down. So it doesn't have to be something that you bring to the table. Although that's a great one. If you bring something to the table that's really important to you, hopefully your significant other can spend some time there. And we're not saying that you have to do 100% of your things together. I mean, we still have some interests. I'm really taking up art. I'm doing a lot of sketching, and Karen's working on some other things. She's doing some writing and things like that. But, it's time that we have some downtime and we're working. Right. But the important things like going out to ski right now, this is like our big activity of the day. And it's great that we're both doing it. I I would really hate the fact if I have to go off and ski and you didn't join me. Or
Right.
if you wanted to go off and hike, I would probably change up the day and I'd want to go hike.
Right.
So, I mean, it's about flexibility too. I'm never saying, hey, no, we have to ski. I might say, it's the last ski day and it's a bluebird day.
I don't think you'd have to say that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have to, but
You wouldn't wanna be
I
out
would just
there.
be saying, this is what we should be doing today, and you would agree.
Right.
But if for some reason you really wanted to go for a hike today, I would go for the hike.
Right.
So I guess that's my point.
Right.
You have to be a little flexible.
Exactly.
Both parties have to be flexible, right?
Exactly. And working out is another great one. From the very beginning, when you and I started dating, we actually started working out together. We
Right.
would, and we belonged to different places, and we decided to join a place that we could go together. And at that time, we lived in Boston, and we couldn't walk outside all the time because it gets really cold in the wintertime. And here, same thing. We had scheduled our workout routine to be together. We do our 4+ miles together, in the morning. So let's say you both work out, but you do different things. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
But join the same club. Try to do it at the same time. So it's sort of like a workout date. We go together, and then you do your own thing for your hour or 2 hours or however long it is there, and then you leave. Now, if you both don't work out, then that's different. But
one person can work out, someone else can go to the sandwich shop next door and have a meatball sub. Vegan. But anyway,
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. It's just like not everybody has to do the same thing. You're right, but it's nice if you can kind of combine things, or at least times, or spend. The key is you got to spend more time together. If you want to have
That's the
a
key.
happy, healthy relationship, it's very hard to do it over long distance, doing separate things, never spending any time together. Because that's not really what I would call a great, significant relationship. But that may be
Right.
good for someone else. Here's the other thing. Everybody has the right to choose and what they want.
Mhm.
Someone may want a relationship where they just have their significant other and a picture on the wall, and they never spend any time with them, and they're both on different ends of the planet. Maybe, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
We're not
here to
talking
talk
about that relationship.
We're here to
Right.
talk about time together and how to make things
Right.
work.
And we're also not talking about that kind of relationship, because we can't give advice on that kind of relationship. The relationship that we can give advice on is finding that person in this great big world that when you meet them, they rock your world, and 30 years later, they're still rocking your world. And on top of that, they're your best friend. They make you want to be the best version of yourself. And it's just this magical thing. So that's the relationship. If you're looking for that kind of relationship, and I have a really good friend, if you're watching this, you know who you are, and she was married for many years, and to a great guy who is also a very good friend, but together they did not have what we have. And she always used to say to me, you guys are so full of it, you're just you're not like this. No relationship is like this. And she has since gone on to find her person, and she says, I tell him all the time that I made fun of you guys and I feel so bad because I have that now. I have what you have. She always wanted it, but she wasn't in the right relationship. And again, that's okay if that's the relationship you're looking for, but she wanted to have this. And I'm so happy that she does. And she's really just come out of her shell. And, she said, if I do stupid things, if I dance on a table, he's okay with it. He loves me unconditionally. And that's really the relationship that we're talking about. Someone that loves you unconditionally for all of your flaws and imperfections, with them, never trying to change you. And you within have this, it's this yearning to be the best I can be for Jeffrey. And I see you yearning to be the best with your new, talents of art and showing me how so incredibly talented. It's been hidden for 30 years. Honestly, it's unbelievable. And it's just a beautiful thing when a relationship can flourish like that and become this absolutely gorgeous tree, right? And all of the fruit and all of the leaves that grow on this tree throughout the years, they grow because you nurture it, you water it, you take so much love and care for the relationship. So those are some of the keys to having a very successful, long, loving relationship.
I love you just the way you are.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the nest at Copper Mountain.
We're going to go and get that last day of skiing here at
Phew!
Copper.
Yes, we
Stay
are.
tuned.